Does that make you nervous? If Lucid was to go under and not make it in this market, like how would you feel as an owner? 6 months ago, we introduced you to our neighbor Steve. He was one of the first people in the world to take delivery of one of the most luxurious EVs money can buy, the Lucid Air Grand Touring. It's modern, but at the same time, it feels very high-end. Even going from Model 3 to Model S, there's not like a ton of extra features for their high-end vehicle.
I mean, it's basically driving a Mercedes S-Class. I mean, it's a real luxurious car. It's what, like I said earlier, I mean, it's what the Model S could have been by now.
Model S 2.0
yeah.
could have been the Lucid.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Kim Java here. Today we have this beautiful Lucid Air. We are doing a 6-month review with a real owner, our neighbor Steve. He's gone on road trips now. He's gonna give us his likes and dislikes and what's changed over the 6 months of ownership. Let's do this. If you missed our first video with Steve, I'll link it here as we detailed everything this one-of-a-kind EV has to offer. The sound it makes when it's backing up or moving, it literally sounds like a dream. But since its delivery last fall, he's put his Lucid to the test, having driven it on thousands of miles of road trips, getting the feel for fast charging, the true range, and even several unique service visits. These are a little outdated now.
What, those?
Reserved for Tesla.
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah.
Of course, before his Lucid, Steve was a longtime Model S and X owner, so his perspective is especially interesting. So range-wise, is it getting the, 500 and something miles?
516, well, officially they say the 516 is if you have the 19-inch wheels. Even with 20-inch wheels, you're supposed to get 469.
Okay.
I've never gotten that.
What did you get? What are you getting?
I would say like 420, 410.
Okay,
in that range.
Still that's like a ton of range. That's pretty good. And then charging times, like what speed are you monitoring your speed?
Electrify America, I've been going there all the time. And I go to the ones at 350 kilowatts, and the maximum that I've gotten so far was 248.
Okay.
So I've never gotten 350, 300, you know. I've heard that that's pretty normal. Electrify America knows that they have issues faster than I had with my Model X.
Steve's longest road trip so far has been from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, about 700 miles each way.
I charged twice.
Okay.
I probably could have made it once, but
You like to stop and stretch your legs?
Yes, and it was great. I mean, it was very smooth, and wherever I go, same as here, you get people that are looking at the car. I have people stopping at rest areas. People ask me, what is that?
Oh yeah.
Who makes that? You
Yeah.
go through a sales pitch.
He's also driven his Lucid up to Virginia as well, getting a feel for how it is to road trip outside of the Tesla supercharger network. Last time we did this video, it was brand new, pretty much.
New, like a week.
Yeah,
right.
So now you've had it for a little while. So in terms of doing the road trip, going to the chargers, things like that, was it as seamless as Tesla is?
Pretty much.
Do you feel like the charging networks have been as reliable as Tesla?
I don't think so. No. With Tesla, there'll be like 8, 10, 12 chargers there. Pretty much always, they'll all be available. They're being used maybe, but they're all available. Electrify America, there's always like one that's not available. I mean, it's a sign that says that it's offline, it isn't working. And you only have about maybe 4 or 6 maximum. So a couple of times I had to wait.
Okay.
With Tesla, I never had to wait.
That's interesting, but I mean, majority of the time you're charging at home. You probably never ever have to use an outside charger unless you're going on like that longer road trip.
I just watched it yesterday. You went on a road trip up to Virginia.
Being our next door neighbor, I noticed a while back that Steve was just using his mobile charger that came with his car. I told him about this really unique product that today's sponsor ShockFlow had just released, and I was able to gift Steve the charger. This is the brand new ShockFlow G1 portable EV charger. It's one of the slimmest and more attractive EV chargers on the market, and what I love about this is that it's a 2-in-1 mobile charger, meaning that when you're at home, it plugs into your NEMA 1450 outlet and it looks good and looks like a normal wall charger. But the mount that it sits on is designed to let you slide the charger right out, so you can easily take it with you when you're traveling and on the road. The 32 amp 240 volt charger gets you up to 29 miles an hour of range with level 2 charging. It's compatible with all EVs and plug-in hybrids with the J1772 plug. And it's also more durable than most mobile chargers. All of ShockFlow's products are independently developed and designed, having passed the most rigorous tests. The G1 has been safety and quality certified with an IP67 waterproof rating, so if you've got this installed outdoors, you know it's going to be okay. It's also dustproof and impact resistant too, with an extreme temperature ratings between -22 degrees and 122 degrees. I love that it's so portable and small, but it also offers the features you'd expect from pricier options. So you get things like smart charging, where you can set your charging time to start at the least expensive hours. You can also adjust your amperage right on the charger, pulling between 16 to 32 amps as needed. Steve has also mentioned loving the flexibility of the 2-in-1 mobile charger like this, and I think everyone's favorite part is the 20-foot cable that's standard on this charger, so you can maximize your reach when you're on the go. ShockFlow also has excellent customer service, and their team is made up of experts who've been in the EV space for over a decade. To learn more and get yours, check out the link in the description below, and let's get back to the video. But this thing, this thing has the most range. Even if it's not getting exactly what is advertised at, it still is pretty much king in terms of range right now, I think.
I did notice, though, that you have to break the car in. So when you first get the car, the range isn't that good. Then after a while, they said it should improve, and I thought, that was strange.
That's really weird.
But it turns out that it's true, because the range I get now is a lot better than I got like 2 months ago.
So do you think then it's actually just calibrating the battery? Because it doesn't make sense that the battery would improve over time. Usually the batteries, you lose.
It degrades over time.
It degrades.
Right.
So I'm wondering if in a way you're just sort of calibrating your battery the more you drive it, and it's getting...
Possible, yeah.
When Steve first took delivery last fall, he showed us some of the early shortcomings of his Lucid.
As we work up to it, the handles present.
Okay.
Except sometimes there's issues.
How do we let him in?
And that
Is he the
software thing. As far as the display, there's a lot of lag, which is kind of annoying. There's been many software updates. And what you saw last time about the delay in the response of the UI, it is way better now.
What about last time there was a kind of a little thing with the door handle?
That also has been improved.
It's all been improved.
All been improved. Not totally fixed, but it's been improved a lot.
He says even though his Lucid offers better range and more comfort than his Tesla, there's one area that it's clearly behind.
Autopilot, right now it's just lane centering. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, but I think it's got a long way to go, compared to what Tesla has. Mm-hmm. There's no, can't change lanes on its own yet. Can't make turns down side streets and, do all that yet. It will be coming, but that wasn't the main feature that I really cared about.
Obviously, Tesla is far advanced in terms of like autopilot and some things like that.
It is.
But then in terms of like the luxury and the feel and the interior, the massaging seats, like why can't Tesla have massaging seats or better ambient lighting? There's a lot of things that I feel like for the price tag of the Model S or the Model X, it should have some of those features as well. If you thought a Model S or a Model X was expensive.
This is more, right? Tesla, I think the business plan now is to go towards the mid and low range because there's more volume there. And if they come out with a $25,000 car, they're going to kill it. They'll sell like 2 million or more a year. You don't want to focus on luxury driver because they won't sell them anymore.
It's not making them the money and not, appealing to their master plan, which is what, they're all about.
Right, but there are people that are saying that Lucid may have made the mistake also because it's a very tough market right now to sell these cars. Stock price is low, very low. It'll be a challenge for Lucid going forward.
Does that make you nervous in terms of like if, now that you have this vehicle, if Lucid was to go under and not make it in this market, like how would you feel as an owner?
I'm nervous about that. I think what's more likely is that they could get bought. I can't see them going under because they got a lot of funding from the Saudis, and Saudis own 70% of the company. And they have a vested interest in making this thing work. They could get bought out by somebody. Somebody like, some luxury car maker or...
I can see that happening too. As far as service, there are about 30 Lucid studios and service centers across North America, the closest to Atlanta being down in South Florida. How many service appointments have you had to have? Like what kinds of things have gone wrong and how have they handled service appointments?
The guy that came here 3 times, same guy came all 3 times from Tampa, and it wasn't like that day. He came like 2 weeks after we exchanged text messages and back and forth. So it was a while. The issues I had was mainly rattles. So I identified the problem. Then about 2 or 3 weeks later, the part came in, the arranged appointment. He'd come out here. While he was out here, he found something else wrong.
On his road trip to Florida, he also had the cross member between the first and second row drop down.
Luckily, I was 2 hours away from the West Palm Beach. They said, just come right in. And I was 2 hours away, but I was there.
Yeah.
They fixed it right on the spot, no appointment, just drive in.
So that's good. Like, if you did live near like an actual service center, you could just show up.
Right.
Potentially.
Right.
Obviously here we don't have one here, so you have to get mobile service. One of the biggest changes to the UI was the recent addition of Apple CarPlay to all Lucid cars.
You can have two navigation systems on at the same time. The native navigation and have Waze in the background. Then Waze tells you things like there's a police car ahead, there's an accident ahead. Gonna get the best of both worlds.
Inside the cabin, you'll find a 34-inch 5K glass cockpit display, facial recognition, driver profiles, and everything you'd expect from a nearly $200,000 EV. It's so smooth. It is such a smooth drive. It also features 32 sensors, ultrasonics, radar, and LiDAR, making it future-proof for when full self-driving truly arrives. How do you enable autopilot? Okay, so now we're in adaptive cruise. There you go. Look, Mom, no
adaptive
hands.
Cruise is this, but the other one is base centering.
Okay. Highway assist unavailable.
Oh yeah, because you're on the city street.
Okay, so you can't do it in city streets, you have to be on. Okay.
Yeah.
I think one of the great things about these software-based vehicles that are technology-driven, because it's not like you buy a car and that's it. It's like they're constantly getting better. They're taking in our customer feedback, and maybe they're watching this video. There's like little things like that with these vehicles that is so cool that you get these changes.
There it goes.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, I like how you have the dual cameras.
Plus all that. Plus if you do this, you can see, the whole car.
Like, I don't know how many times I can say this on camera before finally Tesla will hopefully listen.
Yeah, they will.
Please add this at some point to the Model S and X. Obviously, it'd be great in all the cars, and I think it should be there in all the vehicles. But the S and X are supposed to be at the top of the line vehicles.
That's right, yeah. It says 29 inches now. 29
inches. Okay, I'm going to go put it to the test. Almost exactly, actually.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like 29 from like the fattest part on the front of the vehicle.
16.
16, all right. So, I mean, that's like what, maybe 16 and a half? Wow, that's good. I'll take it. And actually the sensors, like you see ones there. I think there's some cameras in here. So I'm not sure, it's probably like taking a combined total, but like there's definitely a camera there. There's the two ultrasonics right here. This wins the cake. Do you feel good about this purchase? Any regrets?
No regrets at all. It's just I hope the company survives. I hope they keep growing. I think it's a great company. Mm-hmm. I think they have great products. I mean, they're pushing the envelope as far as their luxury EV.
Huge range. It has fast charging speeds. It's gorgeous. I love the interior of it. If you guys ever get an opportunity to check it out, I think you guys will absolutely love it. Not sponsored by Lucid Air. I'm just, giving you my honest opinion, Steve's honest opinion.
Right.
Make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and put in the comments down below if you have other questions about Lucid or any of the vehicles Steve said he's driven. Put them in the comments down below, and we'll catch you guys next time.
I found online there's a stealth shield on that, so it makes it look better than just the white little box.
Yeah.
So I've got that black, kind of blends in with the car.
The one thing about Steve that you guys don't realize, so we've been neighbors now for a while, since we pretty much moved in this house, and he is the type that will research everything to death. Like whenever I need something and I'm not quite sure about the house or cars, I ask him because I know that he's already done all the research and I can just kind of like piggyback on that. And I trust whatever he does because he's looked at every option. He's compared everything, pros and cons. And I'll tell you that for sure. But everything. You have my cue as your garage, right? I'm pretty sure we did whatever you did. Like I said, we do whatever you do. Whatever Steve has is what we have too. And not only do we do what Steve does, he comes over and helps us install it sometimes.
Install it, that's right, yeah.
He's the type of neighbor you want to have. Yeah.
And also I noticed that they said that that for this size wheels, maximum range is 469. Okay. So when you charge the car, for long range, you get that number, 469. But then when you drive for a while, I could drive for 10 miles, it still says 469. Then it starts to drop, you know.
It's interesting.
So it's almost like with a car, when it's at full, you know, you could be like greater than full, right?
Yeah.
You know, but the tank still shows full. You could drive for a while, you know, and it goes down. So it's interesting, you know, because the 469 is the number that they get from EPA.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the software just forces that number.
Now, I'm really skeptical of the EPA's testing methods.
But that's what they,
you know,
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. That's a whole nother video that we might get into at another time. But I feel like those miles don't necessarily match up with a lot of the vehicles that I see nowadays. And it's interesting how sometimes they give you this huge number, and then other times they're actually lower than what the vehicle can actually do. So it's very interesting.